Students, so yesterday we were talking about that of the pinhole camera. Pinhole camera, if we talk about the principle, then we came to know that the pinhole camera, it works on the rectilinear propagation of a light principle, that it believes that light, it travel in a straight line or it covers a straight path. Okay, so on that basis this pinhole camera works. Now what happened in the pinhole camera, if an object is there and a light rays, it passes, it starts coming from that of the object and passes through the whole of that camera, that pinhole camera, and finally it gets strike or it reaches to the screen of that pinhole camera. Okay, and the two light rays, they intersect each other, and thus after the intersection there is a formation of the image on the screen of the pinhole camera. We also study the different characteristic of the pinhole camera, student, that it always form a real image of the object. Second thing, that it always form the inverted image. If suppose an object is AB, then the image will be formed in BA. Okay, so it will form a real image as well as it will form a inverted image. Then if we see the color of the object, then the color of the object will remain the same. Okay, there will be no change in the color in after the formation of the image. Okay, it will shows the same color as that of the object. Later on we studied another thing, that is there any natural pinhole is there around our nature. So yes student, if we go to under that of a tree, then you will find the leaves, they are overlap with each other, and due to which there is a gap, there is a hole which is present in that of the leaves, and these holes which is present in the leaves, they are responsible for the formation of a pinhole camera, or you can say that it acts as a pinhole camera. And you will see on the ground or on the road a circle is formed due to that hole from where the light rays is coming to the ground. Okay, so this is what it is, the pinhole camera. It is very important. The working characteristics and natural pinhole camera related question can ask in the exam. Now today we will start with another topic, and that is shadow. When we talk about the shadow, student, before that when we started with the light, we discussed that light is responsible for the formation of the shadow. How? If an object is there, or if you or we are standing in day outside and light falls on us, then you will find that there is a formation of a dark shade like a structure. That will be of our own structure, but it is a dark or a shade like a formation will be there. What is that? That is actually our shadow. Okay, and due to the presence of the light, this shadow is formed at the opposite side where we are standing or where the object is placed. Okay, so we can define shadow that when an object is placed in front of a source of light, if a source of a light, you can see here this girl is standing, if here the sunlight is coming from this side, so if a source of light is there which is coming to that of the girl, then what happened, there is a production, or it produces a shade or a dark area behind it. Behind it, it means opposite to the place where the object is kept. Okay, so a source of a light, when it falls on that of a particular object, then there is a formation of a shade or a dark behind that object, that we call as a shadow. Okay, so if a girl is there, this girl, sunlight is coming to her, then after that you will see at the opposite place or behind her there is a formation of a dark or a shade area, and that shade area or dark area we call it as a shadow. Okay, now the question is that how does this shadow is formed, student? So before we go further, we should understand in a very simple term that this shadow is actually formed due to the presence of an object. If a light rays is coming from a certain direction and an object is placed to the or in between to that of the light rays from where it was coming, so then there is a formation of the shadow or a shade or a dark area behind this object. So we can say that when an object stops the light rays, a dark or a shade area is formed, that is we called as a shadow is formed. So when the light rays are stopped, shadow is formed. Now if we see what are the different objects, means on the shadow, in which of the object it will form in a better way. So you see, student, there are three objects that we have studied when we were studying about that of the light, that is a transparent, translucent and opaque object. Opaque object was what? Which do not allow light to pass through it. Translucent, which allow a partial amount of a light passes through it, and transparent, which do not allow light to pass through it at all. So you can see here, students, when we see the shadow of that of the transparent, translucent and opaque, then you find that as the light it comes to a opaque substance, then the shadow which is formed behind the screen or the shadow which is formed behind this object, it will be a dark shadow. Okay, so we can say a complete shadow or a dark shadow is formed because of the opaque object. What happened in case of a translucent object? Translucent, it allows some of the light to pass through it, so only few light will get reflected, or only few light rays will be stopped by that of the translucent object to pass through it, and thus it will form a very not a very clear but a partial shadow is formed through it. Okay, so since it do not stops the light partially, so the shadow which is formed by that of the translucent is not very dark, or a light shadow is formed through that of the translucent. What happened in case of a transparent? Now you see, student, right now when we are studying about the shadow, I said that shadow is formed when the light gets stopped by any of the object. Since transparent, it allows all the light to pass through it. It means light is not hindered by any of the object, or it does not get stopped by any of the object. So it can simply pass through the object very easily. So in that case, there will be no formation of a shadow. So transparent, it does not stop the light to pass through it, and thus the shadow will be not formed by that of a transparent object. So shadow is basically formed by the opaque object, since it stops the light rays to pass through it. Thus, in case of a opaque substance, a dark shadow is formed behind that object. In case of that of the translucent object, a light shadow is formed because only a partial amount of a light is stopped by that of the translucent object. So not clearly, but a very thin shadow is formed by that of the translucent object. In case of a transparent, since it allows all the light to pass through it, thus we can say that there is no formation of a shadow in case of a transparent object. So you can see here, shadow is formed by that of the opaque object. It stops the light completely. Translucent, it stops the light partially, and transparent, it does not stop light passing through it. Now if we see the other examples of the shadow, students, so there are a lot more examples. You can see here this example is again of that of the transparent. You can you see here, students, a dark shadow is formed due to the opaque object. Translucent, a very thin shadow is formed here, and in case of a transparent, there is no shadow is formed due to the transparent object. Now if we talk about that of the any of the object, one thing you will notice in case of a shadow, and that is shadow is always formed behind the source of the light. Okay, so if suppose we will see in case of this ceiling fan here, student. So in case of a ceiling fan, the shadow of this ceiling fan is actually formed on the wall, okay, which is just opposite to that of the lighted electric bulb. Okay, so electric bulb which is lighted on that of the fan, a dark or a shade area is formed just opposite to that of the lighted electric bulb, and this shadow or this shade area will fall on the other side of the room or on the opposite side of that of the lighted electric bulb. Not only this, if you see a case of a lighted candle, so when you instead of that of the electric bulb, if you use the lighted candle in a dark room and you see the fan only or the ceiling fan, then you will see again that the shadow of that of the ceiling fan is actually formed on the wall of the or opposite wall of the of your room. Okay, so this shows that the shadow of the ceiling fan is actually formed at the opposite side of the lighted candle. You can see here the shadow that is by the lighted. Here the candle is placed at the front of the statue, and you will see that the shadow is formed behind or at the opposite to that of the lighted candle. So shadow is formed at the wall which is opposite to that of the electric to that of the candle. So we can say the shadow is basically formed behind to that of the object. So object is kept here and shadow is formed behind this object. So always it happens that shadow, it occurs to the opposite side of the object. Now if we saw the one thing, and that is the shadow of the sun. Okay, so basically what happens, student, if you see your shadow, if you notice your shadow from the morning to the evening, then you will find that the size of your shadow is continuously changing, or it always continuously changes. Okay, what happened in the morning, your shadow, the size of your shadow is elongated or is long. In case of a noon, at the midday, the size of that of the shadow, or you can say your shadow, is the shortest one. While again when the sun sets, at that time the length of the shadow is longer. So this shadow's length also, when we talk about the sunlight, due to the movement of the sunlight from east to west, at that time the shadow also changes with that. So in the morning, the length of the shadow is large than that of the actual object. As the sun rises until midday, until noon, the shadow, it becomes shorter. It means when it rises, at that time the shadow was comparatively longer, and as it reaches to that of the midday, the shadow of the body, a shadow of the object, it starts becoming shorter and shorter. What happened at the midday? At the midday, the length of the shadow, it becomes the shortest. Okay, it becomes very small in that of the length. Again, when the sun set, the length of the shadow, it's getting longer and longer. So at noon, it is having the shortest length. When the sun rises or when the sun sets, at that time the length of the shadow is comparatively longer. So in the afternoon, the length of the shadow is longer and pointed to the east. So here at noon, the length of the shadow is in midday. At the midday, the length of the shadow is comparatively shorter as compared to when the sun rises or the sun set. So you can see here, student, due to the rotation of the earth on its axis, it causes the change in the length and position of the shadow to change. What happened in the morning? In the morning, the sun, you can see here, it appears low in the early morning, and you can see the shadow, it is little bit longer, right? What happened at the noon? So at midday, the shadow, you can see it is the shortest one. It is up to here itself. Okay, so it is the shortest. In the evening, the shadow again it becomes long. Okay, so sun, it appears low in the early morning and in the late afternoon, and this makes the shadow longer in the early morning and in the late afternoon, that is in the evening. At noon, the shadow, it is the shortest one. Okay, so as the sun, it starts moving from the east to the west, from sunrise to the sunset, the shadow of the object also get changed. The position as well as the length of the shadow also changes. Now one more thing is there, student. When we talk about the shadow, we can see shadow if there is a screen. That screen will be of a wall or will be of anything. Okay, so there must be a screen is there on which the shadow is formed. If suppose a person is standing and the sunlight falls on that person, then what happened? His shadow is formed at the ground. So ground is what, or floor is what? It is actually the screen on which the shadow of the person is formed. So every time if we want to get the shadow, there must be a screen will be there so that you can see the shadow of a person. So morning, noontime, afternoon, the length of the shadow, it varies. Now we will talk a very important thing, that is what are the sources of the shadow. It means what are the things which causes the shadow. So if you see the sources of the shadow, so there are three things that is responsible for the formation of the shadow. The first thing is the source of the light. That is very important. If there is no light, there will be no shadow. In dark, you are not able to see any kind of a shadow. Only in the sun, as the sun rises, or in the day itself, you are able to see the shadow of an object or a person. So the first one is the light source, which is very important to get the shadow of an object. The second thing is the opaque object, because you know, student, shadow is what? It is formed when the light rays is objected, or it is stopped by certain object. Only then shadow will be formed. And this will happen if an object will not allow the light particles to pass through it. Okay, so as it will not allow to light rays to pass through it, it means it is trying to stop the light rays to going inside from that particular object. Okay, so here again you know that if it is stopping, then there is a formation of a shadow. So opaque object, it stops the light ray to pass through it, so it forms the shadow very easily. So the first thing is the source of light, second thing any of the opaque object, and the third is the screen. So you see, light is there, opaque object is there, but there is no screen, and if there is no screen, then there will be no formation of a shadow. Okay, so to see the shadow, the formation of the shadow will occur only if a screen is there. So a source of light is important, an opaque object and screen, all these things are the sources of the shadow. So we said that in dark there is no formation of the shadow. Shadow is basically formed in the light only. So we can understand the formation of a shadow and its characteristics on the basis of an activity. So for this activity, what are the three things that is required? You know that the first thing is the source of the light. The second thing, any of the object, opaque object, whether it is a small one or a big one. It will be very easy if suppose we take a small one, because we will see the shadow very properly, and it will be very easy to handle a small opaque object. So we will take a source of light, we will take an opaque object and a white screen or any of the screen on which the shadow can be clearly visible to us. You should take that one. Now what you will do, you will take a source of a light, that is a torch, and when you throw the light with the help of this torch on the opaque object, then what you will see, and from the other end you will say to your friend, or to if a wall is there, then it's very good to hold it the screen, so that the shadow which will form by this torch of this object on the screen can be visible to us. Okay, so the torch, when the light is thrown upon this opaque object, at that time there is a formation of a image. Okay, and that image is formed on the screen. Now what are the things, what kind of image is formed on that the screen? Then you will see that this is actually a black structure, black or a gray structure is formed, and the color of the object does not get reflected in the formation of the shadow. Now when you repeat this process to 4 to 5 times or 6 times, then what you will observe, you will see one thing, that as you try to take the source closer to the opaque object, then the shadow, it gets bigger and bigger. And as you take the source of the light away from that of the opaque object, then the shadow which is formed on the screen will become smaller. Okay, so the position of the source of the light determine the size of the shadow. If the torch or if the source of the light is very close to the opaque object, the shadow will be large, or you will get a bigger shadow. And if the point source is quite far from that of the opaque object, at that time the shadow which is formed on the screen will be smaller. Okay, so this is the experiment activity by which you can find that an object, how the shadow is formed in an object, and what are the necessary thing which is important in forming the shadow of an object on the screen. Some examples by which you can see the shadow. Suppose a bird is sitting on the ground, at that time you will see the shadow of that of the bird, or a bird is flying very near to that of the ground, even then also you are able to see the shadow of that bird. Okay, so if it is flying near to the ground, or if it is sitting at the ground, at that time the shadow of the bird is visible to us. But as it flies very far, or it reaches to a very high distance, at that time we are not able to see the shadow of that flying bird. Why is this so? Because after a certain distance the shadow of an object does not form, because there is no screen, so that's why the shadow will not form. Same thing happened with that of the aeroplane. As you can see here, if aeroplane is at the land, or is at ground, or flying up to a certain height, then the shadow of that plane is formed on the ground. But as it flies off, in the air, at that time the distance is very large from the screen, from the ground, so there will be no formation of the shadow. When we talk about the shadow, students, so shadow is basically formed due to the straight line, due to the rectilinear, the property of the light, that is rectilinear propagation of a light. So due to the movement of the light in a straight path, shadow is formed. So these are some of the examples by which we can say that shadow is formed when an object is having a screen. Okay, so when it is present at the ground, at that time a screen is there on which the shadow is formed. But as it flies off, the distance increases and finally it reaches to a distance where there is no formation of a shadow. If the source of the light is also very large, at that time also the shadow will be not very clear, it will be faint. Okay, like if suppose if an electric bulb is there, then you can see the shadow very clearly on the wall of your room. Okay, but if we see that of the fluorescent tube light, so fluorescent light or a fluorescent tube light being a large source of a light, at that time the formation of the shadow of that particular image is not very clear, or we can say it will be faint. Okay, so we can say that in case of that of the fluorescent tube light, the shadow is not formed clearly, but in case of that of the a small source of a light like that of an electric bulb, at that time the shadow is formed very clearly. Okay, now we will talk about the characteristic of the shadow. So what are the different characteristics of the shadow, students? So it is always black. The shadow, if you see of any of the object or of yourself only, then you will find the shadow is always black. It doesn't matter what is the color of the object. If the color of the object is a green, or if you are wearing a green dress or a blue dress or a white dress, even then also wearing the different color, the shadow remains black, or we can say it always remain black regardless of the color of the object. So the first thing, that it is always black regardless of the color of the object. The second thing is that it shows the shape and the outline of the object. While seeing the shadow, you can guess the person, but you cannot say that it is the exact, or this is the, by seeing the shadow, you are not able to recognize the particular object. So we can say, why is it so? It is because it shows the shape and the outline of the object only. Okay, what is the shape of his nose, or what is the proper shape or color of the your eye, or color of your skin, it is, you are not able to see with the help of the shadow. So shadow will show the shape and the outline of the object. It does not show the proper object. It does not reflect the, or does not form the proper object on the screen. So it shows the shape and the outline of the object. Then the size of the shadow, it varies with the distance of the object and the sources of the light. Right now we discussed in the activity that if suppose you take this the source of a light, and if the source of the light is very close to that of the opaque object, at that time the shadow which is formed on the screen will be wide, will be having a large surface area, will be large, and when you take that source of the light little bit farther from that of the opaque object, at that time the shadow which is formed on the screen will be smaller. Okay, so we can say that the size of the shadow, it varies with the distance. If the distance of the source of the light is less, at that time the shadow will be large, and if the distance between the source of the light and the object is more, at that time the shadow which is formed on the screen will be small. Okay, so it's the size of the shadow, it varies with the distance. So these are the different characteristics of the shadow. Discussing the characteristic of that of the shadow. So we said that the shadow which is formed on the ground or on the screen, it is not the exact copy of that particular object. Only the outline will be formed in case of a shadow. So this makes the shadow differ from that of the image. So now we will see the difference between that of the image and the shadow. So you see here student, image is what it is formed when light is reflected from a mirror or from a shiny surface. So reflection is what, when the light coming to a shining surface or to any of the surface, at that time the light get reflected after striking to that of the object in the other direction. Okay, so light rays is coming to an object, and after coming there it get diverted to the other direction. That is the reflection. So image is formed when the light rays it get reflected from the mirror or from any kind of a shiny surface. What happens in case of a shadow? Shadow is formed when a path of a light is obstructed by the opaque body. So here when you take the source of a light, when you use a point source of a light and throw the light on the opaque object, at that time the light gets stopped and a dark shade is formed behind that object on the screen. That is shadow. So image is what, when the light get reflected after falling on the object, that is image. And shadow, when it falls on the surface and the light does not allow to pass through it, then there is a formation of a dark shadow or dark shade area, and that is known as shadow. In case of the image gives all the detail of the object such as size, distance and color. Shadow gives no detail of the body, it only shows the outline of the body. Right now we discuss student that shadow is what, it do not tell the color of the object or the size of the object or the distance, it simply gives the outline of the body. Okay, while the image is what, it gives all kind of a detail. What is the color, what is the distance, what is the size, everything is explained, or the details you can see in the image rather than that of the shadow. So this is the basic difference between the image and that of the shadow.